Hey guys, Project Steel back for another day of Project Zomboid. And I recorded 3 episodes where for some reason my voice was not included. I'm not sure what happened. So for these next 3 days, 11, 12, and 13, I'm just going to do a recap and do a little voiceover. So I started this one out by going to I just got up, went to the kitchen, realized I had a bunch of hot dogs and I had hot dog buns and I had some ketchup too. So I was like, hey, why not make some hot dogs? Start the day off with that. And then my plan was to move to, I guess it would be the north. It's not really a compass here. But move to the strip mall, not the one I went to before, but the one in the other direction of my house. I saw it when I was driving around running from the helicopter. So I'm going to go there and see how many zombies that there are. If it's not too many, I'm going to loot those stores, or at least a couple of them, get started. So it wasn't too far to these stores. I just really had to cross through one yard. And right here, I'm kind of taking it slow and I'm looking around to see how bad the zombies are. And I see there's the strip mall kind of to the left, and here on the right where I'm headed towards is a post office. I saw that and I wanted to go to that one first because my thought is the post office could have tons of skill books, or who knows what's in the packages that are in there. There's a couple zombies when I showed up, but then what happened is they just started coming out of nowhere and I ended up having to fight a whole bunch of them here. And once I got into the post office, I had to kill a few zombies in there, but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't like the amount of them I had to kill out in the street to get here. So I felt pretty safe going through here and checking it out. The majority of the loot in the post office was in this back room right here where they had all the packages. And one thing I like that's new is it used to just be stuff on the shelves, but now it's like here is a mail bag, and then the mail bag had stuff inside of it. And there's a parcel in a mail bag, so I would have to go through those to see what was in them. And I like that. I thought that was a really cool touch to make it a little more realistic. I didn't find anything great in here. I found a couple skill books, nothing really exciting. I don't think I went into the upstairs. I was kind of realizing it was getting late. It was already after 7 at this point, and I figured most of the upstairs is just offices, so I was kind of trying to hurry up and grab what I could. By the time I got back here, I was thinking about how I was going to make the run back home. And I went out the garage door, and when I looked around, there wasn't much in this parking lot, which is kind of disappointing, an old beat-up looking taxi. But over here, I saw a news van, and it looks like it's in almost brand new condition. And I like vans like that because you're able to access the back of it while you're sitting in the driver's seat. So my plan was to try to get that, if hopefully it would have keys in it, and drive it back to base. So I had to kill a bunch of zombies. I did get in. It was unlocked. I got in the passenger seat and started looking through this thing. And you can see here, it had some interesting stuff. Gas can and some zip ties. And it did have the key in the ignition. And apparently it had gas. It looks like it had a quarter of a tank and a good battery, so I was able to start it up and drive it on back to the house. So that was a real lucky streak for me. Pretty much as soon as I parked the van, I had zombies wandering around in my yard. So I had killed 2 right here, and there were more coming in. So basically I was outside for a while, killing more zombies to add to my pile, I guess. It was already almost 11 at this point. So I was getting tired, and I don't think I'd had dinner at this point. So I was ready to just dispatch of these guys pretty quick and get on into the house for the night. After eventually getting back in the house, I ate something and slept for a little bit, but couldn't sleep anymore, so I just started reading skill books. The next morning after waking up, I read some more skill books. And then I started going around and looting, well, houses already looted in the neighborhood, and taking apart everything electrical in them, like the TVs, clocks, hair dryers, anything electrical I could find, because I needed to build my electrical skill up to 2 and my mechanical skill up to 3 so that I would be able to start hot wiring cars. At that point, all I need is a screwdriver and I could hot wire a car. Near the end of that day, that's pretty much all I did for the day. I ate a steak dinner and then decided to take apart my own TV for the experience because nothing else was on the air anyway. Next morning I got up at 9 a.m., I got a breakfast, and then started back to the strip mall. It was a real foggy morning, so right outside the strip mall I searched some wrecked cars, and then I ended up in a big fight in the fog, which I did not like at all. I could hear zombies everywhere, but couldn't see them until they were right up on me. By the time I finally finished killing all these zombies, the fog had lifted. It was actually almost lunchtime. The first place that I went to was the store on the end. It was Nourish Food Market. And it was full of lots of pastries and vegetables and fruits, but almost everything was rotten. I found a couple things, but not that much. So then I headed back home with my bag of groceries. I did find a bunch of meat and eggs and flour in the back of the store. And then I decided to finish the day out just working on cars to build up my mechanic skill. And hopefully by next episode I can hotwire some vehicles. Make sure you tune in for that. Please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. I've got a lot of good content and more to come. And I'll see you next time.